All right, guys. So we have Sanya from Undead Labs, who's working on the State of Decay game. She's going to be here to answer some of our questions and give us a little bit more information about State of Decay. So, Sanya, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do with Undead Labs?
I am the director of community for Undead Labs. That means I don't write code and I don't do art and I don't design the game, but the company thinks it's so important to give the
Cannot fire.
players information that they've hired me to spend all
Cannot
day
fire.
hanging out talking to everybody. It's the best job in the entire
Cannot
world.
fire.
So basically, all you do is chill and talk to people from the community.
Well, it's not quite chilling because there's a lot of people from the community who want to talk right now. I take care of the Facebook page. I take care of the Twitter feed. I hang out on the forums. I coordinate getting the information. For example, we just posted a big follow-up Q&A to a big article on game strategy, how to play the game, what the different systems of the game are. Uh, the creative director wrote it as a little journal, dear diary. These are the horrible things that happened to us today, and here are the things that helped us to survive it. We just put that up, and then we invited our community, as usual, to send in their questions, the questions raised by this article. And I sat there with a 4-page single-spaced document, coming up with the answers and hounding the developers for the answers.
Okay.
It's that
Okay.
it, and in between all that, people like you reaching out, asking questions, asking me to come and answer questions from users, newspaper articles, website articles, magazine articles.
Okay.
I coordinate getting the word out.
So how long have you been with Undead Labs?
I am a newbie to the team. I've only been around since June. I've been
Okay.
doing this particular job since 2001, but for Undead Labs, I've only been here since June 2012.
Awesome. 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 So I have a big question.
Shoot.
Okay. My own personal question. When should we expect this game? Should it be Q1, Q2, Q3, or Q4 of this year?
We don't like talking about Q. We don't do quarters, and the reason for that is because that's an accountant's thing. That's a number crunching bean counters kind of figure. They say quarter one because we've got sales objectives to meet and blah blah blah. No, 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 no. We prefer to think of it. We don't say quarters. We have been saying early 2013, uh, because that's the closest we can guess right now. The game is
Okay.
not finished. We haven't passed the certification process with Microsoft because they're publishing us on XBLA.
Okay.
We're not done. And so, of course, I know what our best guess is going to be, but the minute I say that guess out loud, we're going to have to change it, and people will be disappointed and hurt. So I'm just not saying anything except early 2013.
Okay. Okay. Now, I know that there's talks of possibly doing a multiplayer version of the game.
Well, there's no talk. That's happening.
It's happening?
Yeah, that is our next project is Class 4. That's
Okay.
the code name for the massively multiplayer world is Class 4.
Okay.
That's not its real name. That's the Max Brooks in joke there, but but that's no, that's what we start developing as soon as we get this out the door.
Okay. That's awesome. Now, have you played the game yourself?
State of Decay?
Yes. Or
I,
tested it or
oh, I'm so sorry. I warned you. I'm going to be coughing and snorting. This flu that's been hitting North America is just awful. Uh, I have not because it is not yet done. I've
okay.
been coordinating the feedback reports though, because we have been heavily into internal testing right now. So I've been seeing all of the gameplay feedback and I've been sorting it into categories into enormous documents every morning.
Okay. Awesome. 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 Let me see if I can get any. A lot of people are saying that my sound is muted, but it's not. So give me one sec. All right. So let's try and get some questions from people because I know a lot of people are excited about the game. I am personally as a zombie fanatic. I'm looking forward to the game. Now, here's the question while we get these questions in. How many people are part of the development team? Is it a
There,
large team? Is it a small team?
well, we are small in numbers but large in experience. The team only has about 20 people, 2022. I I'm sorry, the cold medicine. But it's a small team, but it's a small team that's been working together for years on other projects. Our boss, Jeff Strain, was a programmer on Warcraft and StarCraft, and he led the original group that, sketched out what later became World of Warcraft.
Okay.
He left and formed his own company that was ArenaNet, and they made Guild Wars. And now he's making his dream company, his dream game. And he
Okay.
brought with him a bunch of people with the same kind of deep track record. And not just people from that arc, but he's also got people that have made brilliant console games, and they've been together for years and years and years and years. I mean, we're all old by the standards of the game industry. Yeah,
Well,
but
wait. What's old? I want to make sure I'm still young in this gaming industry.
game industry, if you're over 40, you got a foot in the grave, and if you're over 50, they you're just an ancient sage. But that's at our company. At our company, just about everybody is married with kids, actually. So
Okay.
we're adults, I think. I hope.
Well, I'm classified as an adult, but I like to consider myself as a kid. So,
Um,
um,
no one ever grows all the way up.
exactly. Well, some people do, but that's their decision. All right. So we have a question here. Can you break down, the play style and some of the information about the game that maybe some people aren't familiar with, that they haven't really looked into it. There's a lot of people that don't know about State of Decay that are watching the stream right now that might like to get kind of like an idea of what the game is about.
So the first thing everybody should do is go to undeadlabs.com and click the word games at the top of the page. That has a deep overview of what we're trying to build, what the basic concept is, lots and lots of links with extra information about the systems and the concepts and the content and all that other stuff. And I say that because it is so hard to describe this game in a quick soundbite. That has been the biggest challenge, getting the word out about State of Decay, because we're not building anything like anything anyone's ever seen before. There's elements of a shooter. There's guns and there's ammo and there's lots of headshots. It's a mature rated game. We're not apologizing for any kind of gore or violence or anything like that. So it's not something that's appropriate for kids. There's real-time strategy elements because you build a base. You upgrade elements of your base according to your own strategy. If you have a workshop, you can repair things and make landmines and Molotov cocktails and other assorted nastiness. If you have a parking spot, you can repair vehicles. If you find vehicles in the world, you can drive them around and use them to kill zombies and carry your survivors from one place to another. It's got a sim component to it. You aren't playing as one person. You play as a community of people. You instead of making yourself stronger, you have a stronger member of your community who's got super strength and can do, not super strength. I'm speaking poorly, but different people have different strengths in your community, and all together you are greater than the sum of your parts.
Okay, so there's different characters that you're able to play with have different attributes that help you complete certain missions.
Everybody has different skills and different strengths. Yeah. So there's some of your guys might be ex-military and very strong and very agile and very good at scouting. You might have some of your community members might be sharpshooters, others might be medical professionals. Who you choose to rescue will have a big impact on how you play the game. It's no, even though there is a story arc with missions that you follow and in a very linear progression, it's also a sandbox game. You don't have to play any of the missions at all.
Okay.
What we've been telling people is that this is a post-zombie apocalypse survival simulator. It's a survival horror game, but we are simulating what would happen after the apocalypse hits, and it's up to you to decide how do you want it to play out. I mean, have you ever watched a zombie movie and gone, what would I do if the outbreak hit right now. And then you look around your basement and you're like, oh crap, do I have enough food stored? Do I have enough water? What would I do if my neighbor came over and asked if he could stay with me to be safe? Do I have fuel for the generator? Wait, do I want to run the generator? Because noise attracts zombies. If I run the generator, all the zombies will come down. These are things you think about. And that's what the game is about, is what would you do?
Exactly. Now you said building a base. Now is the location where you build your base predetermined, or can you pick where you build your base?
So any building can be an outpost, but only a building with a defensible perimeter can be a home base. In other words, it has to have an exist kind of wall or fence before you can take it. So not every building can be a home.
But there's more than one that you can choose from.
Yes, you'll start out at one particular while the game is one particular base while the game is kind of showing you the ropes, but then after that you can look for bigger ones, better situated ones. It depends on what you decide you want your community be. Do you want to have a big community where you rescue as many survivors as you can? Because then you need a big base with
Mm-hmm.
lots. But if you want to keep it small and easy to defend, that would be a viable choice too. It
Okay,
all
okay. What kind of zombie AI can we expect in the game? What can we like? Are they gonna be able to like jump through windows? Are they gonna be able to like open doors? What are some of the things that zombies are gonna be able to do in the game?
uh good lord. That's an open-ended question. They could do all of that stuff. You'll need to barricade your doors and windows if you don't want the zombies to, climb through. Uh, some zombies we call them specials. They have special abilities. There's one that doesn't really do a lot of damage, but he's really loud, and like I said, noise attracts zombies. So if the screamer gets to screaming, he will bring down the horde upon your head, and that's bad. There's some that are tougher than others, tougher and faster. Most of them are just your basic shambling brains, but they may be slow, but they're very hard to stop except with a direct headshot.
Okay, okay.
Or
Um,
beating their heads in with a melee weapon because ammunition in the game is a resource. It will be somewhat scarce. You don't want to just fire off a semi-automatic weapon and let it go for like that, or you'll bring down the horde and be out of ammunition.
okay.
Old
All right. What kind of weapon types are we going to be seeing in the game? Is there going to be melee? Is there going to be, all the regular guns that we find, around the world? Like, what should we expect for use of weapons?
There are hundreds. There may be thousands at this point. I can't even keep track. The guns alone, there are hundreds. If you go to the website and search for it, you will see a list of all the guns that are in the game so far. Our gun guy keeps adding stuff. And
Okay.
there's plenty of melee weapons. There's pipes and machetes and axes and knives and there's weapons everywhere.
Okay. Okay. What should we be expecting for retail cost for someone who wants to buy the game?
You don't set that. That's going to be Microsoft. I expect it to be the same as any of the larger XBLA titles.
Okay. Okay. So like roughly, anywhere from $40 to $60. I don't know. I don't have Xbox, so I don't know how much Xbox titles cost.
Is anything $60 on XBLA?
I have no idea. I don't. You have an Xbox, like I said. So, you know, maybe $20, $30.
See, I've been avoiding getting pinned down on the exact number because I don't want to be quoted because it's going to be Microsoft
Yeah.
that sets it.
So an average price for any game on the XBL.
They,
What?
there are smaller games and bigger games on XBLA, and we will be one of the bigger ones.
Okay. Now, what about the PC cost?
I don't know yet.
Okay. Okay.
Comparable. Whatever it is in Microsoft points, whatever that translates as into actual money, that's probably what we'll charge.
Okay. So you're going to be doing both Xbox and PC, correct?
Xbox first. We won't launch the PC game until after we've got the Xbox game out the door.
Okay. Okay. How long roughly should we be expecting that release to happen?
Not even want to guess. I have no idea.
Okay. Okay. How big is the map? Like, are we expecting a large map, or are we expecting something kind of confined to
I am
us?
told it's about the size of Oblivion or one of the earlier Grand Theft Autos. It's 16 square kilometers, and half of that is playable. The other half of it is like mountains and dense woods and everything else.
Okay, okay, okay. So you can like travel by the mountains or stuff like that. But so it's a relatively nice size map. Now, are there any talks of expansion in the future,
How
expanding the map,
It
or
depends how popular we are.
okay, okay. Let's
If we
see.
get lots of players, who knows?
So are there different types of zombies, or there's one type of zombie?
Different types. There's the regular shambling, slow but inexorable ones that you have to barricade or put up barbed wire to keep them away, and even then they'll keep coming to a point. The And then there's the specials. There's the screamer. There's the juggernaut. I don't remember. There are there is a good strategic mix to make it both fun and unexpected.
Okay, okay. Now, zombies, do they, if like for example, if I were to shoot a gun by mistake, would I attract zombies within that area?
Yes.
Yes. All right. So that's something interesting. Unfortunately, chat. There's a League of Legends tournament going on Twitch, so chat is really being a problem. So I'm just gonna wing it and ask you questions. Um, the art style, was it I know that you're relatively new with Undead Labs, but the whole art style almost you know makes me feel like I'm almost in like a comic book. I don't know if I get that feeling when I looked at the trailers and stuff, and just the actions that you're able to do kind of makes me feel like it's a mix between a combo fighting game to a zombie survival because you're able to kill zombies and finish them off in really cool ways.
Well, now that is one of those things that it seems when you're just sitting here watching it, it looks a lot more over the top than it feels like when you're playing it. Once you're in there and the adrenaline's flowing and uh and you've been fighting because remember uh, the head-to-head action stuff is going to be very dangerous. You're we A lot more of the game is actually puts emphasis on distracting them, sneaking, living to fight another day, that kind of thing. So when you do actually get into the middle of it and have to kill off a horde, it doesn't feel over the top. So it's one of those things that you'll have to play it and see what you think when you're actually there. I would have
Okay.
said the style is a lot more realistic. What they were going for in terms of the look and the mood that the art evoked was faded Americana, small town America that's seen better days.
Okay. Okay. Now, is there a leveling system in the game? Are you able to like level up your talents? Is there a skill tree?
It's skill based. It's not like you won't be like, well, this character is level 7. Remember, you're a community, not just one person.
Hmm.
Switch viewpoints often. If you Because when somebody each of the characters will need to rest, they'll need to heal, they'll need to eat. If you're always using the same guy over and over, his skills will get better because they improve with use. But at the same time, none of your other guys will get better. That guy will get exhausted. And then if that guy is killed, we have permadeath in the game. So if your
Okay.
favorite character dies, then none of the others will be ready to step up and take his place. I mean, remember, survival simulator. You got to think about what it would be like if you and your neighbors were holed up in your house after the zombie apocalypse comes. If one person dies, the game isn't over. The world hasn't ended. Everybody else still has to carry on.
Okay. Okay. So that's an interesting aspect because yes, you're playing a single player game, but you
But
have multiple characters that you can switch from to accomplish your quests and missions and stuff. That's pretty interesting. Now, the core. Do you have a core character, or all the characters kind of predetermined already?
there are a couple of main storyline characters, but once you have befriended and earned the trust of any of the survivors you run into, all of them are playable.
Okay. Okay. So there's no like you don't make your own character, customize it, and then jump into this world. You're already playing a predetermined character.
No. Oh, no, 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 no. No, well, you don't make your own character, not in that sense, but predetermined, they're only predetermined in the sense that they already exist. After you get in there and you take over that character's viewpoint, you can decide, do you want that character to be really good at gun shooting? I mean, then you take him out and practice, help him practice taking out Zeds with his pistol. Do you
Okay.
really good at the machete? Well, you have him swinging that machete through the world as he's scouting for things. Do you want him to be a leader? Then you need to make sure that he's using his wits and that he's smart. You
Okay.
know, there's so they're not predetermined in that sense. Some characters have more natural benefits than others, just like people. But everybody can improve. It's just harder for some than others. So you decide what you want that character to be. It's not that predetermined. No more so than you're probably stronger than I am because you're a man. You can probably do push-ups, and I'm pathetic at that. But I could do push-ups every day until I could do some. And if you didn't do any, I could eventually get stronger than you. It's exactly like that in the game world.
Okay. Okay. So this is a question that keeps getting asked every time I do an interview with somebody for some zombie game. Is there going to be zombie children? I don't know why would somebody would want to shoot a zombie child, but I gotta ask the question.
It's been coming up on my forum too. I wonder what's in the water. Everyone wanting to know that. Not State of Decay. Everybody in State of Decay is at least a young adult. There
Okay.
is there are older adults, there are middle-aged adults, there are young adults, but there are no kids.
Okay. Okay. Now we've gotten that one off the table. So I really like the concept of the game that you actually have to work as a community and kind of pick out who you want as you know
Because the
who who you want
yeah,
to focus on to level up and what you want to level up on that character.
yeah, and the other thing to keep in mind is that everybody has their own personality and personality traits. I believe selfish asshole is still a personality trait in our game. If someone's a selfish asshole, they're going to be greedy. They're going to bring down morale. They're going to cause trouble. They're not going to because when you're not playing them, they're independent. They continue to live their own lives. They feed themselves. They take care of tasks that they've been assigned. I mean, they're the people are semi-autonomous when you're not playing as that character. And a selfish asshole could cause a lot of trouble, but what if he's your only medically trained community member? What if he's the only doctor you've got? What if he's the only mechanic? What if he's the best shot you have in terms of taking out zombies from, 100 yards? Well, then you have to solve the problems that his personality has created. So that's another thing to keep in mind is that everybody has a personality that has to be dealt with. I don't know if I just answered your question. I'm so sorry.
No, you did. I just have to kill somebody in the game. I'm playing DayZ right now, so it gives some background image to the whole interview. Um,
Interesting idea because this has nothing to do with Daisy.
no, it's well because I had asked if I could have got access to the game or showed some stuff, but unfortunately which is understandable. The game's still in kind of in development, but they're zombies, so there is some relation. Um,
I think I would have rather you play videos from our YouTube channel.
well, I can throw one up. That's not a problem at all. Actually, you know what? I am gonna do that.
Undead. Hold on. You know what? I'll even tell you the undead labs.
If you want, just link the one you want me to play in Skype, and I will play it. Not a problem.
There's our channel. Goodness. All right. There. I just hit send. That's our official YouTube channel.
Alright, so let's open this up. Is there one in particular you would like me to showcase?
People haven't seen anything. You know, the place to start is our official State of Decay. We uploaded it 5 months ago. That was an action style trailer till because it's hard. It's as you can hear, this game is really tough to boil down to one soundbite. So that we did kind of an action trailer first, and then the next thing we did was a garden growing clip showing that you grow your own food inside your compound, and then you don't have to leave and confront dangerous zombies to get food. Uh, and then there's But then the next video we released was Distraction, which was showing that you don't necessarily want to meet zombies in a head-on fight every time. This isn't a shooter game with unlimited ammo and no consequences to blowing off your shooting off your gun. So we show that, you could, use firecrackers because that will attract zombies' attention. And that pulls them away from where you want to go, and you can go in, grab the resources and get out.
Mm-hmm.
Tactics plays the shows a little bit more about the different things you can do in order to accomplish your goals. We're working on another video right now to illustrate some of the community-based building stuff.
Okay. I really like the style, the way the game looks. It's especially like all the actions you can do and what you're showcasing, like you can roll between the gap of the fence and stuff, and I don't know, it just makes me want to play this game, like running and jumping and grabbing onto the ladder and stuff, and
So we
there's
play the game. And it's XBLA, so there's no risk at all. There will be a not I don't want to say a demo because it's just a chunk of the actual game. It's not something we built just to try to entice you. It's just like, oh, well, this is the first part of the game. We hope you like it.
okay.
So that'll be up for free with no. So you can't really get into the sandbox stuff too well without buying it. But
Okay.
but you can certainly get a feel for the gameplay and the mechanics and the systems.
No, for sure, for sure, for sure. Now, there's vehicles. Are you gonna be able to find a vehicle that's like already usable, or do you actually have to go out, find parts to fix the vehicle, and then get your mechanic character to repair it?
It is an XBLA game, so we didn't get too crazy with having to, that granular stuff where you're building it from parts. No, there's a couple of dozen vehicles just in the world.
Okay.
You pick one up. Now, here's the thing though, they're a finite resource like everything else in the game. If you bash it into a wall, it's going to stay broken. If it catches on fire, you're not going to be able to fix it because there are no more auto parts stores in the world. The zombie apocalypse has happened. There's no fixing something that has been that destroyed. But if you maintain it, if it gets a little bit damaged, but you take it back to your base regularly and have your mechanic fix it, then there's no reason it shouldn't last you a good long time. Sometimes you'll want to blow it up. Sometimes that'll make good sense. It'll save your life. The explosion will make the zombies come running to
Okay.
check the noise, and you'll be able to get away. But mostly you'll want to take care of it.
Okay. A good question here is, what about the economy? Is there going to be like, can you have like a mini transactions to buy upgraded stuff, or are you guys staying away from the microtransactions?
Economy. No, 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 nothing like that. Nothing like that is planned.
Okay, okay. So basically, game, you get everything, get access to everything that's in the game right away.
Game and you play the game. Yes.
Perfect, perfect. Now, is there gonna be like, are you gonna have like storage areas in your base where you can like somebody can go out and scavenge and then put those items in in like a chest or whatever at your base, and then your other characters can go and access that.
Yes. If you now you might want remember because the characters are semi-autonomous when you're not playing them, you may want to lock things up to make sure that, the food isn't raided too quickly or the equipment doesn't just grow feet and walk away. You may want to lock it up. But That's the whole point of the community base, is so that the community has access to all of the resources.
Okay, okay. So basically, the community can go. You can bring something in, forget to lock your chest. You come back, and then somebody, one of the other characters, took that and used that for themselves.
Yeah.
Okay,
Now it isn't free to take things away. I mean, the way we're measuring is it's in terms of earned influence, and it's not a currency system the way, it's not like points or tokens or anything like that. It's just like, if you do something nice for me, I will like you and I will want to do things for you and give you stuff. That all that is influence. In the game we've quantified that, and so whenever you've done something for the community, you earn influence with the community, and then different things have a different influence cost associated with them. If the community really likes you, there's really no limit to what you can take out of the storage chest.
okay, okay. Now, how is the whole multiplayer aspect gonna work? Like, I know it's still probably a ways away, but what should we expect from the multiplayer version of the game?
Well, the multiplayer version of the game is going to be a massively multiplayer online world game. It's going to be a different game than this. It's going to use some of the same systems in terms of base building and upgrading. It's going to use a lot of the content systems in terms of missions. Because a lot of the missions in our game are generated depending on what you have done and what you've earned.
Okay,
Uh, and then there's the storyline missions, which are don't depend on anything you've done, but that's different. Anyway, the content system I expect to see in the big game. But for example, the part where you're managing a community, I think our focus on the next game is going to be guilds, groups of players working together to create these survival communities. That
okay.
is way down the road though, so past that I'm going to stop talking.
But one question I have though: is it going to be more survival focused than multiplayer, or am I going to be able to go out and raid somebody else's base?
I not yet know what our
Okay,
limit will be.
okay, okay. So here we're looking at she's setting up a garden in the base, I guess.
We put that out because it was just such a contrast to the shooter actiony bam 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 of the first video. So everyone who thought they knew what the game was about saw the garden clip and said, "What?
Okay.
Like
So,
vegetables?"
so does it take time? Like, is it real time for stuff to grow, or is it like sped up? They will take a few days for corn to grow, or something.
It doesn't take you 6 months to grow a crop of corn. It takes, for example, it takes about an hour to build a watchtower. Takes a little longer than that to grow vegetables, but that's a base. You can do everything in the game can be done faster if somebody one of your characters has expertise, construction expertise, gardening expertise. Somebody with gardening expertise can make the crops grow faster and bigger and more of them.
Okay, okay. So here I'm actually watching the video of
It's
the
not fast.
the Office.
The Office.
Yeah, it's
Lab.
Jeff wanders around the lab.
Wait, is that Jeff wandering around the lab, or are you seeing a guy dancing?
No, he's wandering around the lab. Like he walked in through the front door and there's the Undead Labs painting, and then now he's looking at people's workstations and
I don't even know what you're looking at. I'm looking at the channel right now.
there's
It,
artwork on the walls.
yeah, I'm sure it's lovely. I think you might be looking at one of the undercover videos, but yeah, I can't see what you're looking at.
The wall o' fan love.
Our players have drawn wonderful pictures and stories and made projects and sent us photos of them.
Okay.
Said wonderful things about the game, and because we're such a small team and we're trying to make, for XBLA especially, this is enormous. Uh, we really rely on the community to stay inspired.
Okay, okay. Now Are you looking for more testers to test the game? Is there a closed alpha test and closed beta test that people can apply for?
Yeah, there's no way to test on the XBLA, not without you guys having a development kit, and those are really expensive and hard to get.
Okay.
So having any kind of open testing for the Xbox. I don't know if we're going to do a beta test for the PC.
Okay.
I have my own hopes, but
Well, I think it's great. I think any company that really gets the community involved is already a step forward, or a step ahead, sorry, of anybody who kind of keeps everything hush hush and then releases it, the full release. I find when people beta test or alpha test, they're giving their feedback within, under the NDA to the community, saying, you know what, this game is going to be great, and then it spreads like wildfire.
absolutely. I can't imagine, especially the massively multiplayer game. There is just no way to do one of those without community feedback, community involvement, community everything. Actually, the feedback we get on State of Decay will shape the big game.
Okay.
Where we are depending on our players telling us what they think about the different systems, especially the ones that don't appear in other games that nobody's ever done before.
Uh huh.
If we don't hear from players with their specific feelings, we'll be operating at a disadvantage. So we're counting on our community.
Okay.
Let's get the next game going.
Now, zombies, like the aggro range. So, from like what point will they be able to see you? Will they be able to hear you?
Oh, some of that we're still tuning.
Okay.
It'll depend on what you're doing. It'll depend on what time of day it is. It'll depend on a whole bunch of different factors. And then we have to actually play it and make sure that that's fun. So I'm dodging your question is what I'm doing.
No, that's fine. That's understandable for any game that's in development. There's a lot of companies out there that make mistakes by saying this is what we're doing and that's how we're going to do it, and then when it comes to the time to implement that into the game, it doesn't work at all, and it just makes them look like fools. So, I think the approach of, kind of giving an idea of what it's going to be, but not actually giving an idea of what it's going to be is the best way to go about it. So basically, dodge the question. So is there anything else that maybe I haven't touched on that you would like to talk about, that you'd like to add?
Oh, I would again implore everyone that is interested in the game and that is looking for a survival simulator, a survival horror game that isn't just a shooter and isn't just an RTS and isn't just anything that is, if they're looking for something entirely new, to please go to the website, please go to undeadlabs.com, click games, read about State of Decay, read all the links, and then come to the forum and talk to everybody and share your ideas and your feedback. We are totally excited about this game, but without the community, we have nothing, and we we need every single person we can to come and be involved. So I would like everyone to read and come over and see how great the community is.
Yeah, and community is everything you need to be successful in the gaming industry. If you don't have the community, then even if you have a great game, if the community is not there, then unfortunately there's nothing really you can do.
I agree, or I wouldn't have been doing community management for my career. Yes,
uh,
leave that 100%. I'm very lucky to have this job because Undead Labs feels the same way.
okay. Is Undead Labs looking to hire or expand their team?
We are only we are we only hire people with quite a lot of experience. This is not the sort of company you can join if you're looking to break in because every one of us is doing more than one job. We're all doing things that you have to have already done it. You have to know how to make a game because that's what's giving us the freedom to make something so new and different is that
Okay.
we've already done. If
All
it's
right.
already done, we were the ones who did it originally. So we are not looking to expand the team unless you have a lot of experience. And then it's not just that, it's also you have to fit in with the existing team because
Exactly.
it's the other thing we're doing is that we're all working very tightly together. So even a genius that doesn't fit in would just make things harder. It
No,
wouldn't.
exactly, exactly. It's all about, working as a well-oiled machine. Is a lot easier than having the most talented people in the industry not knowing how to work together. It just causes more of an issue than anything else.
Some of the most talented people in the industry, but I might be a little biased.
So, should we be expecting to see Undead Labs at any of the upcoming conventions this year?
We're planning for PAX East right now.
You're planning for PAX East? I will definitely have to stop by and say hello.
You absolutely should. You should email me after this is over and make sure that I've got you on my spam. I mean my mailing list for
Your
stuff.
spam list? I don't know. I kind of delete spam.
Very much. I do send an email to anyone who runs any kind of site. I mean, I don't need you to be IGN or PC Gamer or anything else. If you have a blog and you have 3 readers, I want you to be on my media list. I will do an interview with you. I will talk to you. I will include you on the mailings. Anything you need, I will try to help you. Because you know what? The guy with 3 readers tomorrow has 30,000 readers. So if you have 3 readers today, I will help you get 30 more.
No, but that's the thing, right? People within the community. I used to do YouTube, and now I'm doing the Twitch, the streaming, and it's all about networking and growing a community with other streamers. If anybody comes into this and says they're going to do it by themselves and by themselves alone, is dreaming. It's the same thing with the gaming industry. You guys brought people in from different games, and if you didn't network prior to that, you wouldn't have known about these people, and you probably wouldn't have the same team that you do today.
Well, and if we didn't know each other, we wouldn't be able to work together. And
Exactly.
it's all about community, both an internal professional community and the player community. And here's the thing, we're all just players. This isn't the job is too hard and you work too many hours. I mean, I'm not the only one working on Sunday right now. I think the entire team is working on Sunday right this minute because we're getting so close to the end. And
Yeah.
yeah, if you weren't a gamer at heart, there would be no point. This would just be unbearable. But
No.
instead it's worth it. Instead it's fun. Instead it's I can't think of anything else I'd rather be doing on Sunday afternoon.
Well, I completely agree with you. I'm a gamer, and I stream every day. I've been streaming for 2.5 months roughly, and extreme growth that I've seen is just because of the community. And I guess you have to be a gamer. You have to love what you're doing. And somebody said, if you love what you're doing, you'll never work a day in your life.
Yep, that's true. That is true.
So I don't feel like I'm working, although I am. Being able to speak with somebody from Undead Labs and get more information about the game to me is just like I would pay people to do this. That's
Never admit that. That's when you get into trouble.
hey, you know what? As long as I'm having fun, I'm able to support myself. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter how much money I got in my pocket.
Oh, what's the saying? There's a bigger difference between none and some than some and a lot. As long as you've got some, you're doing all right.
Exactly, exactly. Okay, so I got a couple of last questions here before we wrap up. Is there going to be a weather cycle? So
No,
rain, snow, no?
we decided to focus on light, day and night cycles.
Okay, so there will be a day and night cycle. Is it real time or is it
But
sped up?
it's 2 hours long, a full cycle.
Okay.
Because the people who only get to play at night would only see the game at night, and that would eventually get depressing.
I guess it would. So you said PAX East, I guess PAX Prime as well?
Well, yeah, I assume so, but that's not till next summer. Until summer. I'm not thinking that far ahead. I'm not thinking any further than the spring at the moment.
Okay. Okay. So definitely PAX East. So for those of you that don't know, it's in Boston. I believe it's on the 21st to 23rd.
I think the show itself is the 22nd. I think most of us are flying in on the 21st.
Okay, I don't know. I I have my stuff booked, so my dates are all confused, and it's all on my calendar. So
And everyone's got Google; they can look it up.
exactly. So make sure if you're gonna be at PAX East, guys, to go check out the Undead Labs booth. Say hi to them. I'm pretty sure they're gonna have some
Be
new
at the
information that's not been released yet, or hopefully they will. And that's it. So,
will.
Sanya, thank you so much for coming on to the stream today and giving us some information. If there's any other plugs or anything else that you want to do, go right ahead.
Is my microphone still on?
Yeah, your microphone's still on.
I was trying to interrupt you and say we don't have our own booth.
Oh.
We're gonna be in the Xbox Pavilion.
Oh, okay, okay. That's
There you
close
go.
enough. It's close enough to having, your own booth. You'll have your own section within the pavilion.
We will. The last at PAX Prime, nobody could find us. They were looking for the Undead Labs booth, and there wasn't one. So I didn't want that to happen again.
Okay, so guys, everybody, to reframe what I said. They will not have a booth. They will have a section within the Xbox Pavilion. So make sure you go check them out. And if you can't find them, find me, and we'll go hunt them down.
That sounds awesome. A whole pack of Yetis.
So yeah, if there's any other plugs or anybody else that you'd like to thank you, now would be the time.
We just want to thank all of our existing community for all the faith they've had in us for the last 2 years. They've been watching us going from just talking about it to doing it. And we couldn't have done it without them. And if anyone would like to join the community, please come to Facebook or the forum or Twitter. We'd love to have you. The community's terrific. All you have to do is care about games and be a mature adult, and we're ready for you.
All right, guys. So that was the interview. I am going to mute my microphone and sound. I'm just going to talk to Sanya for a couple minutes and jump right back into the action, guys. So give me a few minutes.